they're not into cartoons anymore. That's not changed at all, but rather, because of the technology, they have more access to different shows. So when I was younger, one of the things that I would do, since I wasn't able to watch a lot of TV because I was fairly busy or just away from the house for a long periods of time. So I had a VHS tape that was recordable, and what I would do is I would literally just pop that in and set the VCR to record my shows and watch them whenever I could before I taped over them again. But now we have DVR, which does virtually the same thing as that. All right, just so that, all right, so this is something I've noticed about myself too. I'm so rooted in the 90s essentially that when I have dreams about the technology, it's technology from that era. So like if I'm in a bedroom, for example, and there's a TV, it's not a DVD player that's hooked up to it or a cable box per se. No, it's a VCR, which you use to play back VHS tapes. And I remember like when we stepped up from from a VCR player, when we got this combo player, which played VHS tapes, stumbling there, and DVDs. And I thought that was so cool, right? But then VHS was almost completely phased out. I think it's probably safe to say that it is phased out by this point. And it is like that Shakira song. Anyway, so then the new thing was, DVD players and having a cheap DVD player, and like there are even portable ones that you can have in your car. So, but even then, even now, DVD is slowly being phased out and being replaced by Blu-ray, which is way cooler, because I think anyway, because you don't have to worry about having movies that are like multiple discs and having to switch between the discs when you got to a certain part, or you wanted to access a certain feature like interviews and such. And every DVD that we owned, I made sure that I could, uh, I made sure to watch the featurettes. Like even when they had featurettes on VHS tapes, I love to actually sit there and watch it. I would watch the entire thing until, there was literally nothing left to watch on the tape. There's no more content recorded on the magnetic strips, which by the way is how VHS tapes work. They uh, record images on ribbons and special ribbons. I can't be the only one that hears Shakira in this. Hips don't lie. I think that's the name of the song. I really like Middle Eastern sounds and such, especially when they're sampled like this, or like when they're played like a riff on a guitar. I'm not even Middle Eastern. I just really enjoy it. Well, I am Indian, so I guess that kind of counts. I know I was actually bullied in high school because of that, being part Indian. And then like 9/11 having just happened a few years prior. Like literally like 2 years prior to that or so. Or not even, because I was in the 8th grade when that happened. Alright, so that's that. Alright, so what to tackle next? Alright, so I think we're going to go ahead and add some other base colors now. And then we'll move on to highlighting. Alright, so this next color is Abaddon Black. Sometimes it's pronounced Abaddon. But yeah, it's like a type of demon. So I'm a little afraid to use this so willy-nilly, so I'm going to really utilize my palette for this one and use my the thinnest brush that I have. Water it down just a little bit. So what I'm going to do with this is paint the little pads. Just trying to be as neat as I can. And then if I do mess up, it should be taken care of in the next step. And for that, it's as long as you wait for the paint to dry a sufficient amount of time, it's fairly easy to fix any mistakes. And another thing that you have to consider is the way the bristles on your paintbrush will splay. Sometimes you can use that to your advantage, to have like multiple tips in one brush. Kind of like when you get one of those Sharpies, they have like two different tips. Like you have a fine point and the chisel. For drawing, I find the chisel definitely more accommodating. Just because, oddly enough, I can get more detail with the chisel end than I can with the fine point. I don't know. I think that's kind of weird. You know what? I think I might have been better served if I merely went over this with ashen gray, which is a fairly dark gray color, then shaded over it with Nuln oil. I'll try it on the next bike and see how that goes. So I actually have to work later tonight. And I was thinking about having a third cup of coffee, but I might not, just because that might be overdoing it a little bit. And if I feel like I need a little pick-me-up, I think I'll just grab an energy drink that I have. I bought like a 4-pack, and I needed them to get through for the Super Bowl. We were really, really busy. We were really busy during the Super Bowl. Not so much yesterday, though. It's like people had been all pizzaed out, essentially. I would love to get one of those vinyl figures that you paint yourself. Like, it's very little construction, like maybe 10 parts to glue together. But then you paint the figure yourself in your own colors and such. Like, I can never find any good ones. I see people post online statues that they paint themselves, and they don't really post links to where they got them from. And I'm like, why? So, but I did have a Warcraft statue that I repainted myself, and it turned out really decent. Especially since I only had like starter paints from, this Warhammer hobby set that I have. So, yeah, it's a hobby starter set. It has paints and such. So we're gonna let that go for a bit, and we're gonna try the other approach. With the next bike, using Ashen Gray, and then just shading over it with Known Oil. So we're gonna give this a good shake. We're going to put a bit into the palette. And thin it down just a little bit. So this might be difficult to see at first, so we'll see how that goes.